Peacemaker is a brand new DC series that dropped its first 3 episodes on HBO Max today, and it stars John Cena back in the role of his vigilante mercenary character from The Suicide Squad from 2021, directed by James Gunn. If you guys didn't know, this show was greenlit well before The Suicide Squad released in theaters last year, so we had no idea what to expect from this show and what to expect from John Cena's portrayal as the character. Thankfully, he came across as pretty decent and likable on screen, at least in my opinion. But without getting the wider audience's reception of the Suicide Squad film before greenlighting this show, and the fact that James Gunn is coming back to direct a few episodes, how does all that work, and does this show stick the landing? Well, here are my thoughts. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Heads Project. I'm John Rodalaza, and today we're reviewing the first 3 episodes of the brand new DC series, Peacemaker. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I did not like this show that much. I know they dropped the first 3 episodes, but that first one was not grabbing me, and 5-10 minutes into the second one, I was contemplating whether or not I should review this or not. I was just not entertained for the most part. There were some definitely entertaining scenes in the second and third episode. That first one really does struggle to grab you. I think it does. It's got some issues, so let's dive more deep into it. Spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen the series yet, I'm going to be talking about events that occurred in the first 3 episodes, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want to hear it, go watch it. It's on HBO Max, then come back here so we can talk a little more nerdiness. So this show obviously stars John Cena. I think he was one of the better parts of the Suicide Squad film directed by James Gunn. I really liked his portrayal of the character of Peacemaker. I think he's very likable, even though he's, a douchebag, but I just like how Cena plays him, dude. Like, I've been a fan of Cena since I was little. I've followed him in his pro wrestling career in the WWE, so I really do like him, and I think he translates well in the movies, although he's had a rocky start. Like, just seeing that giant, big, imposing wrestler playing a dad in blockers, like, it comes across as weird, but I think he was funny in that movie. In the DC universe, in the Suicide Squad, in the superhero genre in general, I feel like this is his home. He fits here better than he does in a standard comedy. But when it was announced he was gonna play some guy named Peacemaker, you have that same audible reaction of, I don't know who that guy is, that's gonna suck. And of course, it didn't suck. It was pretty entertaining. So I was skeptical when they announced that he was getting his own show before the movie dropped. Like, that was pretty ballsy. That told me that, oh, he must be really good then. If the studio thinks that, the studio would never have done that unless they saw something in him or the creators were that confident in the role. Point is, there was a lot of pressure on Cena in the role of Peacemaker. Of course, the series picks up right after the events of the film, where Bloodsport and Peacemaker had a standoff and they shot bullets at each other. The smaller bullet penetrated the bigger one and clipped Peacemaker, and he was presumed dead. It looked like he might have died in that scene, but then it was revealed in the end credits scene of the Suicide Squad that, no, he was just in the hospital, he was good, he was recuperating. In that scene, the other agents who worked for Amanda Waller, I guess, now have been assigned to Peacemaker to watch over him and to work on the hits that they have going on in this show that are well under Amanda Waller's pay grade. I guess one of the positives, if not the only positive of this show, is John Cena as Peacemaker. If there was anybody else in this role that was less charismatic than John Cena, this show would be absolute garbage, because he carries the show, in my opinion. He really does. It's not like he's making me laugh and I'm just busting a gut every time he says a line, but he makes me chuckle, dude. Like, he's got some lightheartedness to him despite being this cold-blooded killer. Like, he was depicted as quite a bit of a cold-blooded killer in that movie. But now we're seeing a little more of a lighthearted, jokey side to him. But it doesn't feel like a crazy detachment from his character of the movie. It just feels like we're seeing a different side of him because, he's not on mission, trying to act all serious and trying to out-alpha male Idris Elba. And the other agents from the movie are also in here. They're good. I like them in the movie, and they're serviceable here. They do their job. I like them all, but if you ask me, none of them have compelling dialogue, and I'm just gonna go right into that. The dialogue and the writing in here feels very lackluster and surprisingly lackluster for a James Gunn project. But that depends who's writing it or not. Wait, no, James Gunn is writing it. He's writing and directing it, so, oh boy. Look, I really don't want to trash this and trash James Gunn or his work. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, dude. I love his movie Super he did with Rainn Wilson like years and years ago. I think that's about all I've seen. I can't think at the moment. There's a couple other things I've seen of his. Obviously, I really like the Suicide Squad. There's so much of the writing and the dialogue in here that comes across very lackluster and poor to me. I don't care about what anyone's saying in this show. It's not entertaining. It's not engaging. And at the end of the day, I was just waiting for the episodes to end. There's also a character in this show named Adrian, and we don't get introduced to him till like the end of the first or second episode, and he's also a vigilante named Vigilante. And he's inspired, I guess, from Peacemaker. He was like his old neighbor, and now that Peacemaker's back in town, he's already this vigilante fighting crime and killing people. It's crazy. But I liked him. I think he was kind of entertaining, especially the scene in the third episode. He was unmasked, and then he started quickly making faces. He said, if I keep changing my face, they won't be able to tell who I am in a lineup. That was about the only thing in the show that made me laugh out loud hard. Other than that, John Cena, I feel like, isn't shining as much as I think he could be. And I feel like it's the script and it's the dialogue that's holding him back. He's making all of these jokes that are just not landing. When it comes to cheesy jokes and innuendos, especially very grotesque innuendos, if they're done right in movies and TV, I will like them and I'll laugh. But if they're not done right, it's gonna be very awkward and it's gonna come across as extremely lazy in my opinion. There's a lot of that in this show that does not work. Like, there's one joke in the first episode where John Cena is talking about he has an extremely large penis. That is an issue because it does hurt people. I know I butchered the line, but the way he delivers the innuendos just comes across very funny to me. But there's a lot of it that does not land. Other characters struggle to make me laugh, and that's an issue because everyone is written to make me laugh. Everyone's written to kind of be funny, and it's not working. Honestly, the comedy in here can come across as a bit of a distraction at times, and that's surprising coming from a James Gunn project because he's generally funny. He does make me laugh. I guess another positive I have with the show is the message that's going on through all three episodes where Peacemaker's having this moral dilemma with himself, thinking, should I go and do everything possible to achieve peace? Because there's a scene in the third episode where he's got to take out this whole family, like mother, father, son, and daughter. He's got to take them all out because, you know, there's a monster in all of them, but he's got to do it nonetheless. But he doesn't. He doesn't because he feels guilt. He already feels that guilt of having to kill these kids. And there's a scene where he breaks down crying in his own bed, thinking about, like, oh my God, I killed Rick Flag. Dude, freaking Joel Kinnaman's character from the Suicide Squad film. He feels bad for killing him. And then he repeats the line that Rick Flag said to him right before he died. His last words, Peacemaker. What a joke. And I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, dude. I like that. I like that character growth. I like that he's acknowledging that there is a bad stigma on the Peacemaker name. Especially, like, there's some crazy stuff, I guess, with his father. Like, his father is some crazy racist, it looks like, and he's got some cult going on in prison in this show. But, man, I don't know what's going on with all that, but I like that this character of Chris Peacemaker, John Cena's role, I like that he's seeing the error in his ways, and we could potentially be seeing him go down a different path in the next 5 episodes. I don't know if this show is going to get a second season, but it just depends on how the next 5 go. Like, if the next 5 are really good, that'll outweigh what I thought about the first 3, honestly. But if it's more or less the same, I don't know if you should continue. Also, there's an eagle in here. It's definitely CGI. Right? No, it's definitely CGI. That looks fake. Right? Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker, the brand new DC show. So let me know down below, what did you think of it? Have you gotten a chance to check it out yet? If not, it's on HBO Max right now. You can stream the first 3 episodes just like I did very early in the morning, and I was kind of disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, you know, John Cena's fun, and at least he brought some entertainment for me this morning. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys, because we got 5 more episodes of Peacemaker, and I will be covering it week to week, as well as the Book of Boba Fett. We got 4 more episodes of that show, and it's pretty good so far. I definitely like it a lot more than Peacemaker at the moment, so let me know down below which one are you vibing with more. Also, be sure to stick around because I'm currently doing a Batman movie review marathon. I've already reviewed Batman 1989 with Michael Keaton. Now we're hopping over to Batman Returns tomorrow. It's the sequel with Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito. Ah yes, it's been a few years since I've seen Batman Returns, and that was a very interesting rewatch. I will be also reviewing the other 90s Batman films, as well as the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman The Dark Knight Returns animated film, all in the lead up to Robert Pattinson's The Batman that should be dropping March 4th. If it doesn't get delayed. If it does, then I might extend the Batman reviews. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get pushed back. So you might want to stick around, guys. There's a bunch of Boba Fett content, a bunch of Peacemaker content, and a bunch of Bat content coming to the channel. And as I always say, there is more to come.